Donald Trump had to admit, along with his Department of Justice, in a new filing concerning the appeal of a judge's decision to disqualify Alina Habba as U.S. attorney, they just had to admit in their new filing that all hell is broken loose in the District of New Jersey, the fifth largest U.S. attorney's office in America, because judges are no longer allowing sentencing and other criminal proceedings to go forward because she won't leave the job, a job that Judge Brand, after taking in the motion to dismiss evidence, decided on the face of the papers she was unconstitutionally and illegally, unlawfully appointed to be the U.S. attorney for New Jersey. But because she won't go away and Donald Trump won't appoint anybody else, the federal judges in New Jersey, all 21 of them, have hit the emergency brake and stopped criminal proceedings. And Donald Trump had to admit it. Wait till I show you what he admitted in the filing, his Department of Justice did. You'd think he was just reporting on the weather today. Well, it's 83 degrees and a little bit higher in humidity than usual. Are you kidding me? You just threw the emergency brake on a train in New Jersey related to criminal justice, and that's how you report it? I'm Michael Popok. That's not how I report it. You're together with me on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Take a minute and hit the free subscribe button. I'm going to post this on Legal AF Substack, but let me, without further ado, let me read to you from this filing. Now, how did we get here? This is because Judge Brand, sitting by designation in Pennsylvania, but sitting as a New Jersey judge, which he had to do because Alina Habba was vetoed by all 21 judges of New Jersey, ruled against her to extend her time to be a U.S. attorney. It had to go to a different judge. The different judge is Judge Brand in the Middle District of Pennsylvania, who disqualified her. Now there is an appeal. This came out of a criminal case involving a guy named Gerard. It's a drug and gun smuggling case, but they're the defendants that brought the motion. So it's the United States of America versus Julius Gerard Jr. and Julian Gerard III. And then the United States of America versus Cesar Umberto Pina. It's all together in a case. They're the ones that brought it. It's now going to the Third Circuit Court of Appeals in Philadelphia, where a judge who could be appointed to it is a former Trumper named Emil Bove. We'll leave that for another hot take. But in the joint filing, a consent motion to expedite this. This is the Trump administration telling the Third Circuit, with no pushback by the defendants, we got to move this case faster. And as justification for that, here's what they write. Let me pull it up on the screen here. Here's what they write in their motion. With the consent of the defendants, the United States hereby moves under a couple of rules to expedite these appeals for the disposition for the next available panel, meaning appellate courts sit in panels and they want to get in the next panel whenever that's going to be. In paragraph 12, this is the part of this hot take, they have to admit, in paragraph 6, they have to admit the following. This is the Department of Justice. Even before Chief Judge Brand, that's the judge in Pennsylvania who made the ruling, had issued his August 21 opinion, at least 12 district judges in the District of New Jersey had begun adjourning matters pending the resolution of these questions. Those adjourned matters include at least 3 trials that had been scheduled to begin in September, several guilty plea hearings, several sentencing hearings, and a hearing on a post-trial Rule 29 motion. And shortly after that's even before, just based on the judge's own interpretation that she was invalid, because they had already appointed a proper acting U.S. attorney, in Desiree Cook, and the first thing Donald Trump did was fire her. So the federal judges were not happy. Now that's before Judge Brand disqualified Alina Habba. Now, in the continuation of paragraph 6, here's what they say about since the order. And shortly after Chief Judge Brand issued his opinion and order, yet another sentencing hearing was adjourned in a matter jointly prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney's Office for New Jersey and the Fraud Section in Washington. The district judge in that matter took the step even though Chief Judge Brand stayed his order and its effects pending appeal. And that's Judge Sala, who I know because I did reporting on this one. The longer it takes to resolve these appeals, the Department of Justice says to the Third Circuit, the greater the risk that still more matters will be adjourned indefinitely, contrary to the interest of the government, defendants, and the public in the disposition of the criminal case. And they propose a briefing schedule but listen, the briefing schedule isn't even that fast. This is where you say to the court, get us on the next docket, and here's our briefing schedule. September 12th for the U.S. brief, October 6th for the defendant's brief, reply in October, any other briefs later on, and let's get this heard in late October, early November. So what they're saying to the appellate court is, it's an emergency, but we can live with it until November as everything grinds to a halt in the New Jersey criminal process being led by Alina Habba. I mean, it's gotten so bad, as we know, that somebody has to babysit Alina Habba. Somebody has to be a co-signer for her, like she's got bad credit, which she does, I'm sure. I'm talking about in the professional world. So Todd Blanche, the number 2 in the Department of Justice, has to babysit her and sign on all of her pleadings underneath her in order to justify the validity of the Department of Justice's U.S. Attorney in New Jersey's positions and filings. But the 21 judges, who are obviously none too pleased that they picked somebody who was a longtime prosecutor, who was the number 2 in that office, had been a prosecutor for 15 years. They picked her, elevated her to the acting interim, while Donald Trump was supposed to go out and get another person and put him through the confirmation process to have a permanent fill, that Trump fired them within hours of the federal judges refusing to extend the time by another 120 days or whatever for Alina Habba to try to get confirmed. Alina Habba is never getting confirmed. It would mean that Chuck Grassley died, that they've decided they're going to rip up the blue slip protocol that senators have had forever, meaning you got to have 2 approvals on blue slips from the 2 senators of that state to get a U.S. attorney for that state confirmed. Cory Booker out, Senator Kim out, therefore never got called up for a vote. And of course, Alina Habba's all upset. Oh, Chuck Grassley, you're a Republican. You're playing into the Democrats. No, he's protecting the blue slips because when Trump is long gone, the Senate will live with these rules. And they don't want to give the next president, like a Democrat, like Gavin Newsom or somebody, the ability to shove through U.S. attorneys then. But I love the fact that they had to admit in a filing that cats and dogs are sleeping together and all hell is broken loose in New Jersey. And once again, showing you that this president is not for law and order, is not for crime and its protection. He's for nepotism. He's for favoring his friends over the interests of the American people. And I'm glad you're here with me on Legal AF. I'll post this filing up on Legal AF Substack, and you can join us there. That also helps us keep our content on the air. Until my next report, I'm Michael Popok. I'm Michael Popok, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popok Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popok Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popok firm today at 1-877-POPOK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopokfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popok firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.